You spent 3 years rebuilding your soul in silence. Now that you're a top 15 hero, they finally have something to say. You're going to dinner to catch up, are not looking for memories. You're looking for the truth. If you were still the girl in the dorm room, would they even have looked your way tonight? The Shibuya Hero Expo was loud, bright, and suffocating in the way only a crowd of 30,000 could be. You adjusted the collar of your jacket, the one embroidered with your hero name in the back with a sharp silver thread, and scanned the crowd from the edge of the temporary stage where you just finished your panel. Cameras still pointed at you, fans were still chanting. You smiled, gave a small wave, and let the PR team usher you off stage before the expression could slip. It had been 3 years since you'd graduated high school, UA. 3 years since you'd left Japan entirely, trained overseas, and rebuilt yourself from the ground up. 3 years since Bakugou Katsuki and Kirishima Jiro had sat across from you in a dorm room that smelled like cheap instant ramen and told you in two different ways that this wasn't working anymore. Bakugo had been blunt. I can't keep watching you hold yourself back. Kirishima had been softer. We love you. That's exactly why we're letting you go. You hadn't cried. You packed your things that night and were on a plane by morning. And now, you were ranked 14th in the nation. Your quirk, always there, always underestimated, had been sharpened into something that made other pros sit up and take notice. You were strong, you were visible, and you had earned every single piece of it without them. You were 2 drinks into the after party when you felt the shift in the room. It wasn't subtle. The crowd, near the entrance, parted the way it always did when two of Japan's top heroes walked in together. You didn't need to look. You already knew. Bakugou Katsuki, Dynamite, entered like he owned the building. Black jacket, arms crossed, jaw tight. He looked older, sharper. The boyish aggression had burned itself down into something colder and more controlled. But his eyes were the same, feral, restless, searching. Behind him, one hand raised in a lazy wave to someone across the room was Kirishima Ejiro. Red Riot, ranked 7th. He'd filled out in ways that strained the shoulders of his suit jacket, and his hair was still that ridiculous crimson spike that had no business looking as good as it did. His grin was the same one that made you fall in love with him in the first place. Wide, warm, entirely too disarming. Your chest tightened. You looked away and took another sip. You didn't expect them to come to you, but Kirishima spotted you first. You watched it happen in real time, his eyes sweeping the crowd, landing on you, widening just a fraction. His smile faltered, and then it came back, wider than before, and he was already nudging Bakugo's arm, nodding in your direction. Bakugo's gaze followed. When his eyes found yours, something cracked across his expression. Fast, raw, gone, before anyone else would have caught it. No way. Kirishima breathed, closing the distance between you in a few long strides. His voice came out almost reverent. It's really you. You forced a smile, casual, controlled. Hey, Kirishima. Last name. The distance was deliberate, and you watched both of them feel it land. Bakugo stopped a step behind Kirishima, hands shoved in his jacket pockets. Now, he didn't say anything at first, just looked at you. Really looked, like he was cataloging every single change. The way you held yourself, the scars on your knuckles, the way your eyes didn't soften or flinch the way they used to whenever he was close. You're different, he said finally, his voice rougher than you remembered. People change, you answered, and kept your tone light. Kirishima stepped closer, and his expression was doing something complicated, something caught between awe and guilt, and a warmth that made your stomach twist. You look incredible. Seriously, I watched your panel earlier. You were amazing up there. And there it was, the thing you'd been quietly bracing for since the moment you saw them walk in. I watched your panel. Of course they had. You were popular now, ranked, recognized, a name that people actually remembered. You were no longer that quiet, overlooked girl who used to curl up between them on the couch and silently wonder if you were someone worth noticing. And now suddenly, they wanted to notice you. Something cold and sharp settled between your ribs. Not anger, something quieter than that, sadder. Thanks. You smiled the way you'd learned to smile for cameras. It's been a good run. Bakugo's brow furrowed. He'd always been too perceptive for his own good, always catching the things you tried to bury. He took a step forward, close enough that you could smell gunpowder and something warm underneath it. You want to get out of here? He asked, low, almost careful. The three of us. Just talk. Catch up. Kirishima nodded immediately, earnest as breathing. Yeah, please. We missed you so much. Like, you have no idea. We missed you. He turned the words over quietly, testing their weight. Missed you. Now, after 3 years of complete silence, after you'd cloud your way into the top 15, after you'd become someone other people wrote articles about. Sure, you said, setting your glass down on a passing tray. You kept your voice warm, friendly, gave nothing away. Let's catch up. Kirishima smiled, that bright open smile that used to wreck you, and Bakugo just watched you, with those sharp red eyes, the ones that had always seen too much. You walked out between them, close enough to feel the heat of both of them, but careful not to touch. You'd be kind today. You'd laugh at the right moments. You'd let them have this, whatever this was. But underneath all of that, something old and bruised was sitting very still in your chest, waiting to see if they'd prove you right. And you really hoped they wouldn't, but you knew they would. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you liked this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And goodbye!